I'm going to show you exactly how to create a timeline in Google Sheets step by step. If you've got a project with tasks and dates, the built-in timeline view turns that into a visual schedule without any extra tools. Let's start with a blank spreadsheet. Click the big blank button on the sheet's home screen. A new untitled spreadsheet opens, and that is where we'll set up our data. The timeline needs proper columns first, so we'll type headers into row 1. In A1, type task and press tab. In B1, start date, then tab. C1, end date. D1, status. E1, owner. You don't need all these, but having a status column later makes color coding really useful, so I'm putting it in now. Now let's put in a few real tasks so we have something to work with. In A2, type design new landing page. Hit tab. For the start date, I'll type March 1st, 2026. Write it out so Sheets can recognize it. Tab again, end date March 10th, 2026. Next row, A3, draft email copy, start March 5th, end March 8th. A4, run ad campaign, start March 10th, end March 20th. I'll add one more, A5, review analytics, start March 20th, end March 25th. We'll fill in statuses in a moment. Before we build the timeline, the number one thing that trips people up is dates stored as text. If the column isn't formatted as a date, the timeline won't know where to place the bars. So click the B column header to select the whole start date column. Hold Ctrl or Command and click the C column header to select end date too. Then go up to Format in the top menu, choose Number, and pick Date. That forces both columns into a format Google Sheets understands. You'll know it worked because the dates will align to the right, not the left. Now for the status column. I always use a drop-down here because if you type statuses freehand, you'll end up with in progress, and the timeline grouping will split them into two different things. Click the D column header to select status. Go to Insert, then Drop-down. A panel opens on the right. You'll see Option 1 and Option 2. Click the first field and type Not Started, then change the second to In Progress. Click Add Another Item and type Done. You can also pick a color for each option. I'll leave them as is for now. Hit Done. Now anyone filling in this sheet can only pick from those three values, which keeps the timeline clean and accurate. Fill in a status for each task. In D2, select In Progress from the dropdown. D3, In Progress. D4, Not Started. D5, Not Started. Quick and tidy. Now our data range is ready. Click into a 1, then hold Shift and click the last cell with data, E5. That selects everything including the headers. Go to Insert in the top menu and choose Timeline. The first time you use it, it can take a second to load, but then a new tab appears called Timeline 1. Don't worry about the name, you can rename it later. As soon as the timeline opens, a sidebar on the right asks you to identify the columns. This is where you tell Sheets what to show. The first field is card title. Click the drop-down and pick task. That'll be the main label on each bar. Start date, choose start date. End date, choose end date. For card detail, I'll leave it for now, but you could pick status or a notes column if you have one. Skip card group for a moment, we'll come back to it. The timeline view fills the screen with horizontal bars. You'll see each task span from its start date to end date. The default view might be set to days, which makes a long timeline. Look up at the top of the timeline area. There's a drop-down that says days. Click it and switch to weeks. That compresses the view into something way easier to scan. The bars might shift slightly, and you'll see week numbers along the top. These bars are all one color at the moment. We can fix that using the status column. In the timeline settings sidebar, if it's closed, click the gear icon, find the option labeled Color By. Click it and select Status. Instantly, each bar takes on the color tied to its status. Not started tasks are gray, in progress are blue, done are green, whatever colors you set up in the dropdown. That gives you an at-a-glance view of project health. You can click any bar to open a card with the full details. I'll click the Design New Landing Page bar. A card pops up showing the task name, the dates, and the status we added as a card detail if we had selected it. Close it by clicking away. Now here's the thing about the timeline. It's fully linked to your source data. That means you do all your editing back in the main sheet. I'll switch tabs to Sheet 1. Suppose this first task gets delayed. I change the end date in C2 from March 10th to March 15th. Press Enter, then go back to the Timeline tab. The bar for that task instantly stretches to the new date. No need to recreate anything. Adding a task works the same way. In Sheet 1, go to the next empty row, A6, type Launch Social Teasers, start date March 22nd, end date March 28th. Use the Status dropdown to pick Not Started. Return to the Timeline tab. The new bar appears right where it should with the correct color. That constant connection between the two tabs is what makes this so useful for projects that shift constantly. Now let's group the timeline so you can see tasks by owner. In the Timeline Settings sidebar, find the Card Group dropdown and pick Owner. If you haven't filled in the Owner column yet, pause here and add some names. I'll quickly put Jane for the first two tasks and Mark for the others. As soon as you pick Owner, the bars separate into labeled groups on the left. Each group shows only the tasks assigned to that person. It's a clean way to spot if one person is overloaded on a certain week. One last thing about navigating. If your project spans months, use the arrows at the top of the timeline to move forward or backward, or click the Today button to jump back to the current date. The scroll wheel zooms in and out of the timescale too, handy when you've got a lot of tasks. Before we wrap up, there are a couple of settings in the source sheet that make life easier once the timeline grows. If you have more than a handful of rows, add filters. Click anywhere inside the data, go to Data, and hit Create a Filter. Little green filter icons appear on the headers. Now you can filter the status column to show only in-progress tasks, and the timeline will instantly hide everything else. That keeps your view focused during a status meeting. The other thing is date validation. Select the Start Date column again, go to Data, then Data Validation. Set the criteria to Is Valid Date and click Done. Repeat for End Date. This prevents anyone from accidentally typing next week instead of a real date, which would throw the whole timeline off. That's the timeline up and running with real data. You now have a visual schedule, color-coded by status, grouped by owner, and constantly synced to the source sheet. If this helped, give it a like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment saying this was helpful. Comments are what push it to other people looking for the same thing.